Hey, fabulous law firm owners, Claudia here. In this video, I'm going to share with you a really simple approach to your law firm's marketing that will help you build your dream firm. So if you're a lawyer that is over dealing with complicated marketing strategies that drain your energy, drain your bank account, then this video is for you. Or perhaps you're a law firm owner who doesn't really do any marketing, you're a bit anxious about it, you don't quite know what to do, then this video is for you as well. So in the past, I have tried many marketing strategies for both my law firm and my other businesses, and I've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work over the years. And what's important to know is that there's no one right way. So I've got a one-page law firm marketing plan that's really simple, and it's got some things that every firm needs to do. And then depending on a variety of factors like your ideal client, your target market, what you enjoy, what your strengths are, and how your firm is made up will depend on how you can personalize it and choose marketing strategies that are right for you. So I'm going to take you through that one-page law firm marketing template in just a moment. Before I do though, I want to talk you through an observation that I've made about lawyers and marketing over the years. And what I've realized is that lawyers when it comes to marketing, lawyers fall into two groups. Lawyers who really enjoy marketing and lawyers who don't. Now, there's way more lawyers who don't enjoy marketing. There's way more lawyers in that group than there are in the lawyers who enjoy marketing group. And there's something that I've noticed about why that is. So most lawyers find marketing a bit of a drag. They find it boring. You may feel quite anxious about it and quite nervous about what people will think about you doing marketing and how you'll be perceived and putting yourself out there in that way. And the reason why some lawyers really like marketing, and I want to share this with you because it could help you see marketing through a different lens that might create some more enjoyment for you. So lawyers that enjoy marketing, the reason they enjoy it is because it brings out their creative side. They see themselves as creators, as creative people, as creatives. And when they do their marketing work, they feel that they are being creative. They're expressing themselves creatively, and that's why they enjoy it. So how that applies, or how that can apply to you, is that we human beings are creative. We're all creative. Now, we're not all painters or sculptors or graphic designers, but we are all creative in some way. And so some examples of how that might relate to you is that you might be creative with the way that you speak. You might be able to convey your ideas and information to people in an incredible way by speaking to them about it. You might be really creative by breaking down concepts by writing. You might be really creative in the way that you make people feel. You might be really creative in the way that you nurture relationships. You're probably really creative in the way that you deliver legal services and the way you want to run your business differently. So we're all creative, and it's really about figuring out how we can bring that creativity to our marketing, and that is what makes it enjoyable for us, because we can all look back and think of times in our life, whether it's our work or something else, where we've really enjoyed it, where we feel like we're doing our best work. And that is usually because we are bringing a degree of creativity to it. And marketing, the reason why some lawyers love marketing is because they feel that they can express themselves creatively. So if you look at marketing through that lens, then that may help you to enjoy it more. It's an opportunity for you to be creative. in ways that you aren't, perhaps, you don't often get the opportunity to be. So with that being said, because you'll see how that kind of comes into this marketing plan that I'm about to share with you, I'm just going to share screen here, and I'm going to take you through this one-page plan that I have. Just bear with. Okay, so you should be able to see that one-page marketing plan for law firms. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, now just a couple of things about this plan. It's designed so that you do it step by step, okay? You do the steps in order. You don't try and skip ahead. You work through each one. So number one, do this one before you do number two, and so on. If you're new to marketing your firm, then you want to start at the start and work your way through. If you're already doing marketing and some of it's working for you, but perhaps some of it's not, please start working through this plan step by step and seeing what you've already done. If you've done it, great. But if there are gaps, then please go back and do these before you focus on improving what you're already doing or adding new strategies into your marketing plan, okay? And the reason for this is that you can't move ahead to doing your branding until you know your current situation. So let's go through this. Okay, so first up is law firm marketing basics. Now, like I said, don't skip this bit. You absolutely must do this bit. This bit is critical, and for every firm, no matter what sort of law firm you have, you must do steps 1, 2, and 3, okay? So number one is know your client sources. So understand where your new clients are coming from currently. Okay, so how do you find that out? Well, some clients, it'll be obvious, right? Like your accountant or an accountant will make an introduction to you, or a real estate agent will send you an email saying that they have sent so-and-so to you. But often it's not apparent. So you need to get into the habit of asking every new client how they heard about you. Okay, so just get in the habit of asking it and record it. Okay, so record it. You can do it in your CRM, you can do it in your practice management software, you can do it in a spreadsheet, you can even do it in a note on your phone if you want to, but get into the habit of asking every single client and writing it down, and then build this question into your inquiry system. Okay, so not only every new client, where they came from, but every person who rings up and makes an inquiry about working with you, whether they become a client or not, ask them as well. Okay, and then look at this data every single month and understand where your clients are coming from. The reason why this is so important, and I've got a story as an example for this, is that often we have a bit of a feeling where our clients are coming from. And often when I take on a new client, a new coaching client, I'll say to them, where do your clients come from? And they'll go, oh, word of mouth. And I'll say, okay, anywhere else? And they'll say, no, not that they know of. And then as we start working together and I get them to do this, what they will see, and I had a guy do this just the other day, a new client of mine, he told me that most of his clients were coming in through referral. But when we drilled down on it, we saw that about 50% or just over 50% were coming in through referral, and nearly 50% were coming in through his website. Now that is really useful information, and you'll find out why in a moment. Okay, so number 2, other data to track. Okay, so these are other things that you absolutely must figure out how to track and look at the data. So number of files opened for new clients versus old or existing clients. Okay, number of website visitors and number of Google reviews. Now, why do you need to track number of files open for new versus old clients? So this is important to know for marketing strategies that you may use in your marketing plan going forward. So for example, if you are a firm that does a lot of work for repeat clients, like perhaps you're a commercial law firm, then marketing to your existing client base will make a lot of sense. Whereas if you're a law firm that does a lot of one-off type files, like for example, separation, then marketing to your existing client base is probably not going to be the best strategy for you. Okay, number of website visitors. Okay, we're going to be doing some work as part of this marketing plan on your website. So we want to know how many are coming now so that we can see it increasing over time so that we know that the work that you're doing on your law firm's website is working. And number of Google reviews. So Google reviews are a really good way to get your website to rank organically higher in Google. So, you know, when somebody searches lawyer in such and such a suburb, that you're coming up at the top or near the top. So Google reviews help with that. So at the moment, you might not be getting any Google reviews, and that's fine. But starting to record how many you're getting each month is an important baseline to start with. Okay, and I'll talk a bit more about Google reviews in a sec. Number 3, use your data for growth. So create a system at your firm to look at your data monthly. Okay, so create a system where it's all pulled together and you can look at it monthly along with the other data that you will or should already be looking at, like your revenue, your profit, your expenses. So like looking at those things every month, you should also be looking at these things here under Law Firm Marketing Basics. Okay, and then use that data for marketing decisions, for deciding what to do next with your marketing, for deciding what marketing strategies you should use to grow the firm. And then focus on improving what's already working. So often law firm owners want to start doing some new marketing strategy that they've never tried before because they've got it in their mind that that will be a really great marketing strategy. And it may well be. But my advice is to look at what's working and then improve that. Double down on that before you move on to a new strategy that may or may not work. Okay, next is build your brand. Now, your law firm's brand, often people think of a brand as a logo and the color palette that you use in your logo and on your website, and that is definitely part of your brand, but your brand is bigger and more holistic than that. And creating a really clear, valuable brand is one of the key growth strategies for your law firm. So you absolutely cannot cannot miss this step. Even if you think you've got a good logo and a good color palette, that's not enough to create a good brand. So it's really, really important that you spend some time on this. And in fact, you can't move on with any of these things post number 4 until you're clear on what your brand is. So first thing here, making sure that you've got a suitable law firm name. Okay, it might seem simple, but I find that quite a few firm owners, they don't actually really like the name of their law firm. They might have, when they bought into the firm or bought the firm, they might have, you know, just kept it, but they don't feel connected to it. They don't really feel passionate about it. They're not proud of it. So if that's you, I would consider, I'm not saying you have to, but I would consider making some changes there. Design and update your logo. So a bit like the business name, the law firm name, sometimes people don't really like their logo, or perhaps they did 5 years ago, but they've evolved, they've made some changes, or they might have brought on some new business partners or whatever. Life evolves, right? And you may not feel very connected to your logo anymore. If that's you, upgrade it, okay? It's really important that you feel proud of these things, because the more you like them, the more you love them, the more proud you are of them, then that instantly creates a stronger brand. Next thing is to understand your competitive advantage. So I said before that a brand is more than your logo and colors. It's so much more than that. It's about what you do, who your ideal clients are, what work do you do for them, what results do you get for them, how do you make them feel? What do they experience when they work with you? What do you stand for? What do you stand against? What are your values? Why do you do what you do? All of those things, along with your business name, your logo, your color palette, all of those things, when packaged together in a clear, articulate way, that's what your brand is, okay? That it also includes what your competitive advantages are. So you will probably have some sense of what your competitive advantages are. It's really important that you get really clear on what they are and be able to articulate them in a way that is meaningful to you and meaningful to your ideal clients. And then to do that, you create a one-page brand plan, which includes being really clear on who your ideal clients are and who your ideal clients are not, like who don't you want to work with. So getting really clear on that brand is really important for everything that follows in this marketing plan. Okay, next up, build or update your website. So you've probably got a website. So making sure that you've got the right domains for your website. Clearly articulate your brand and services on your website. So really important to do this in a way that engages the reader and not in a boring lawyer way. So you may like to get a copywriter to do this for you, to express your brand in a way that's really engaging for the person visiting your website. Include reviews and case studies. So you can pull these from your Google reviews and do some case studies on clients that you've helped and got really good results for. With reviews and case studies, you can choose whether you name the clients or not, or based on what you've agreed with the client. And also, you know, obviously some types of law are very sensitive or more sensitive than others. So being, you know, giving some thought to that is important. Offer some helpful information to your ideal clients on your website. So to start with, you don't need to create a whole lot of stuff here, but just a couple of things that you're giving, that, you know, blog posts, guides, resources, just a couple of things, especially for your ideal clients that provide value to them at no cost. Having a couple of things like that on your website is important. And then having a clear call to action. So a call to action is the step that you want your website visitors to take. So do you want them to go to your calendar and book a 20-minute consultation with you? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to phone you? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to send you a message on WhatsApp? Like, what's the next step that you want them to do? So make that really clear. Perhaps you want them to fill out a form on the website. Make it really clear what you want them to do. Make it easy for them to reach out to you. So that's the website. Then number 6, take good photos. So when it comes to your marketing and your brand, please do not use stock photos, okay? Decide first of all where photos are needed, and then organize a photo shoot with you and your team if you have one, okay? Invest in good photos. It's really quite disconcerting for a potential client who goes to a website where they can't see photos of the professionals that they're likely to be working with. And seeing lots of stock photos makes it feel scammy, like a bit of a front for something else. It's a common issue, and there's something in our industry, in the legal industry, where sometimes lawyers don't like showing their faces for whatever reason, or they want to make the firm less about them and more about the brand. But you know, people want to work with specific lawyers, and they want to know that your people like them. So please make sure you've got good photos on the website and in other places like social media. So that's number 6, take good photos. Please don't skip that step. So once you've taken your good photos and you've sorted out your website, then get on Google. So you'll probably already be on Google, but let's make sure we've got these things right, okay? So set up Google Business. It used to be called Google My Business, and now it's called a Google Business Profile. So you've possibly already got this set up, but double check. And if you haven't, claim your business profile. Once you've got that sorted, add your business info and images. So, and if you've already got that, make sure it's correct, like your hours and your address. If you've moved office recently, like just make sure it's all right and that you've got up-to-date photos on there. And then make sure that you're using the platform regularly and you've got your notifications turned on, because this is where you'll be notified if you've got a review. People can also ask questions through your Google Business Profile. So just make sure that you're in tune with what's going on there. Next up is get started with SEO, or search engine optimization. And this is what I was talking about before, which helps your website rank to the top of the list when somebody searches Google for a lawyer like you in your area. Okay, so when it comes to doing this, this is not a quick fix. There are some things like getting these things sorted that will help you get on your way, but search engine optimization, if it's something that is right for your firm to really focus on, is something that needs to be kept up consistently over time, ideally by somebody who knows what they're doing with search, like somebody who is experienced with search engine optimization. So first of all, you set up Google Search Console. You need to make sure your website is mobile friendly. And you need to do some keyword research. So this is about understanding when somebody goes to Google and they're looking for a lawyer like you, like what are the types of things that they're searching? It's important to know those search terms, because part of this step, creating content that's optimized for SEO, is making sure that your content has those keywords in it. Okay, so up here, you've worked on your website. When you're doing this step, it's really about tweaking what you've already got there, making sure that it's optimized for SEO. This step here will also help you to figure out what content to create to put on your website. So content for blogs, videos, articles, guides, podcasts, all that sort of thing. It will help you figure that out, and key things to say while you're creating those things to help your website move up the Google rankings. That's quite a simplified version of SEO. It can be a lot more complex than that, but I think for the purposes of this chat, that kind of covers it. And then finally, with Get on Google, is set up a client review process. So this is your Google reviews, okay? So to set up a Google review process, you need to ask every client to post a review and then create a streamlined automated system as part of your workflows for getting client reviews, okay? So it just works on autopilot. Now, a common complaint or frustration that my clients have when it comes to Google reviews is getting clients to actually do them. So the more you can systemize this, then the more likely they are to leave a review. And it's important to ask several times, but in a not annoying way. It's important to give clients sort of an opportunity to see the types of reviews that they could leave. You can also provide some incentive. You can say things like, every client that leaves a review this month goes into our monthly draw for a restaurant voucher or a grocery voucher, or whatever it is that your ideal clients would ideally like to receive. So have a think about that and get creative with how you can get people leaving Google reviews. Not everyone's going to leave one, far from it, but the more you can and the more that you get, the more people will do it. So it might kind of start off slowly, but it will pick up. And then when people do leave reviews, reply to all reviews. And that's important as well, because it's important that you show that you take on board what people say, that you're open to feedback, and that will help encourage more reviews as well. And then sharing positive reviews as part of your marketing strategy. So you can do this on your website, you can do this as part of your content marketing. You can do it, you can share them on social media. There's lots of places you can use these to promote the firm. So that's get on Google. And then finally, so other opportunities. So this box, I wouldn't expect you to do all of these things, although you might do over time. But the purpose here is to choose what's best for you, okay? And how do you choose what's best for you? And by the way, I wouldn't move on to any of 10, 11, or 12 until you've done every step all the way up to step 9. Okay, so only move to one of these once you've done steps 1 to 9, and then I would choose one. Okay, get that going, systemize it, create systems so that you can, have it running consistently and as automated as possible before you would move on to the next one. So how do you figure out which one of these to do? How do you know whether email marketing, social media, or referrals is the next best one for you to focus on? So I take you back to the comment made here under using your data for growth. Focus on improving what's already working. So with the data here under Law Firm Basics that you are going to be tracking, this will help you to figure out what marketing strategy to use next, okay? So you will take into account your data, you will take into account your law firm's brand and who your ideal client is, and you will also take into account what you, as the business owner, really enjoys doing, okay? So for example, perhaps you find out by asking every new client where they come from, you find out that 90% of your clients come in from referral. And you find out that most of those come in from, 5 or 6 of key referrers. So if we focus on improving what's already working, okay, so referrals is working very well for you, and you're probably not even really trying, right? Like you're just going about doing your job, doing a good job, keeping in touch with the referrers sometimes, and they're sending you all this work without you even really doing anything to encourage that. So if that was me, then I would focus on a referral strategy. And people think, well, you can't really have a strategy around referrals, but you absolutely can. And here are some things. I've got a whole review referral system on how to improve it, how to get more referrals of ideal clients. But basically, at its very basic form, know who your key referrers are. Create a system for contacting your referrers, and then send your referrers updates about the clients they've referred, of course, with your client's consent, so that the referrer knows what's going on with that client. So if I knew that referrals were working really well for me, then I would double down on that strategy, okay? Whereas if my data up here was telling me that most of the new files that I was opening were coming from existing clients because, I get quite a lot of repeat work, then I would focus on an email marketing strategy to my existing client base to get even more work flowing through from my existing client base. So when it comes to other opportunities, like I say, pick one. And obviously this is not an exhaustive list either. There are some other things, but these are the key things that most law firm owners will work on or will implement at some point. So pick one, but don't just pick it out of thin air because you see the law firm down the road doing it. look at your data, look at what's working, think about creatively what you like doing. Like perhaps you love creating videos or presentations. Perhaps you like doing live presentations to people in person. Perhaps you could package those up and do them as webinars. So think about that and think about those things and think about your brand and your ideal clients. Like, do your ideal clients typically hang out on LinkedIn? Do your ideal clients like watching video? Do your ideal clients, are they real Facebook users? So really think about where they're hanging out, combine that with what you like doing, and combine that with what's already working and where your clients are already coming from, and figure out what is the next best marketing strategy for you based on your goals in your dream firm. I hope that that one-page law firm plan was useful and valuable for you to figure out what steps to take and when, and what are the right steps for you and your firm. There's a link below to book a call with me. If you would like to find out more about how we could work together with me as your coach to help you turn your current law firm into your dream firm that fits your lifestyle. So this is about building a law firm that fits around your life, not the other way around. If you're interested in seeing whether we could work together, whether it could be a good fit, please book a call with me. It's free. And we can have a catch up and see if there is an opportunity to work together. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.